Congratulations to our graduating class of 2020. I'm Sheila Dillon, Chair of the Department of Art History, and Visual Studies. While we all, of course, imagined a much different graduation ceremony, we wanted to let you know how very proud we are of you and all that you have accomplished. We wish we could see you in person and meet your families to mark this occasion, but all of us hope that we would have the opportunity to do so in the future. In the meantime, we send you this message to honor this year's distinguished class of undergraduates and graduate students, all of whom have worked hard to earn their prestigious degrees from Duke.
These students are graduating from and have contributed to one of the most robust art programs in the United States, and the model for a diverse art and theory curriculum that is the envy of many universities in this country and abroad. A brief citation of some of this year's honors students' theses demonstrates the breadth of their education, research, and imagination in our department. For example, students doing graduation with distinction in art history and in visual and media studies wrote on a wide range of topics. Jess Chen's thesis in art history was on the work of German-based artist Nadia Kabelinka. Her thesis, Jess Chen's thesis, is a subtle exploration of how the artist's visual and iconographic strategies relate to personal and historic events of trauma. Charlie Berman's thesis in visual and media studies analyzed visual representations of wealth in America, taking mixed-use real estate developments like New York City's elite Hudson Yards with its luxury urban malls and privileged, costly, curated experiences as instances of what he calls smooth, mindless materialism. Sonia Filippo, also in visual and media studies, examined the visual culture of cannabis from its transformation as an illegal drug into a high-end branded consumer product, exemplifying late capitalist materialism, in which cannabis goods are now indistinguishable from non-psychoactive premium lifestyle products.
Ashley Smith's thesis examined the ways in which contemporary artists Renee Cox and Carrie Mae Weems utilized self-portraiture to speak back to the organization and treatment of the Black female body in Western art history. Paloma Rodney took on the difficult history of the Raleigh Central Prison and its impact of the spatial experience of the neighborhood through visual and historical analysis. Maggie Wang offered a new interpretation of Ai Weiwei's Ton of Tea by analyzing its multifaceted cultural and art historical references.
Cyan DeVoe asked how emerging technologies like augmented reality might make museums, historically arbiters of culture and taste, more democratic and participatory, and then put theory into practice by prototyping an app, Sculpt AR, that enables National Museum visitors to contribute to the museum's new sculpture garden. Alina Wang explored the history of the care of the self as a concept, tracing it into contemporary discourses of health and wellness in order to create her own UI/UX design of a self-care app for mental health that leverages the state-of-the-art of emotion recognition algorithms. Nani Egbuna produced and directed a short film called Poppy and conducted research on representations of Black mental health on screen.
Our visual arts students' final projects were equally diverse. Kyle Harvey completed an impressive printmaking project for which he created a series of related large format linoleum cuts that were both strongly conceptual and aesthetically beautiful. He has also explored new forms of computational collage and AI as an artistic tool. Sujal Manohar's distinction thesis focused on mental health experiences at Duke. She excelled at producing paintings, published journal photography, artwork made in collaboration with hospital patients, and other works linking her studies of art and neuroscience. Paulina Asturias explored through a series of illustrations, writings, and audio the similarities, differences, and lack of connectivity between cultures and identities of Latinxes that come from Latin American countries and the ones that have been raised in the US.
This year, the Information Science and Studies undergraduate students examined new uses for virtual and augmented reality in exhibitions, developed prototypes for interactive websites, and explored new approaches to digital storytelling. At the graduate level, digital art history and computational media MA student Luc Legrand was ahead of the curve in thinking about how to teach the ISS undergraduate web design curriculum using online courses in his thesis project, The Living Web. Caitlin Burke explored the architecture of Facebook as a pseudo-public sphere ripe for pernicious interference during the 2016 election. Other students delved deeper into 3D and immersive environments. Hanyan Lee developed an interactive 3D animated painting exhibition for museums based on Gu Kaji's The Goddess of Woe, while Alan Carrillo and Christine Liu stretched beyond the idea of mere digital representation in digital art history to explore the critical and creative potential of the digital humanities more broadly, with Alan modeling ambiguity in the Paris Temple and Christine visualizing testimony in the Krakow Ghetto.
This dazzling array of accomplishments underscores the role that visual analysis plays in uniting all of these endeavors. For it is visual analysis that requires conceptual thinking and sustained attention to minute detail. Let us imagine for a moment the terabytes of data generated by the Large Synoptic Survey Telescope, one of many international projects currently mapping the universe. It will generate a staggering amount of complex data that scientists say we will only be able to comprehend through visualization, that is, through visual analysis. We must also be astonished that this year there were more than 15 art biennials worldwide, from the Venice Biennale to biennials in Austria, China, Cuba, France, Japan, Norway, Turkey, the United Arab Emirates, and 4 in the US alone, in New York, Chicago, California, and Hawaii. These biennials bespeak the hunger for art and visual culture throughout the world, to say nothing of the industry for art in artists' studios, galleries, museums, auction houses, and the industries that serve art, tourism, transportation systems, restaurants, and hotel businesses, and much more worldwide.
The cultural shift towards machinic vision on the one hand, and various flavors of virtual, mixed, and augmented reality on the other, suggests a new media landscape in strong need of intelligent analysis and human engagement, as we revel in the magical and immersive possibilities of a global surround turned hyper-local. In a world where our news is fake, our perceptual truths contested, our cities talk back, our memes pass as memories, and human authenticity melds with social media performance, we need both thoughtful critique of where we are and informed communications about where we are going. Our graduates are uniquely positioned to provide that perspective. This includes an extra dose of new media history and its effects to offset the amnesiac effects of the always present nature of our scrolls, swipes, and feeds. Whether we are haunted by the telegraph, transported by the wartime photo, or mesmerized by the film of an oncoming train, we recognize the supernatural power of the new just before we naturalize it and forget what was lost and gained in the latest transition.
Understanding the visual is what our graduates have learned to do during their years of study at Duke. This ability and their developed visual acuity will stand them in good stead wherever they go. Moreover, our graduates learn to live skillfully in the real world, which is what study in the humanities enables. Humanistic inquiry, especially as it is coupled with the sciences, as we do in our department, not only teaches one to think, but also to think about how people think. And not only people, but how animals think, and how nature organizes itself. The visual informs us of how we create meaning through material means, how we construct, understand, and experience our world, and how we shape and express our views, not only the present in our own communities, but across the globe, and how we have done so over tens of thousands of years. Our graduates have not only focused on the present, but the past, and are now prepared to lead the future. Their combined work in the humanities and sciences has also advanced their independent thinking, their tolerance for ambiguity, their ability to ponder both sides of an issue, to look beneath the surface of an argument, and to analyze a proposition. And these graduates know how to appreciate the ways in which language or images can help us understand one another more clearly and profoundly. Or alternatively, how language and images can conceal and misrepresent. In short, these graduates are equipped to live in and to sustain a democracy through the symbiotic relationship between representation and how we come to shape, understand, and defend our world.
Finally, let us acknowledge that you students graduating here have never stopped exploring and thinking about the world around you. You have recognized and embraced the idea and purpose of an undergraduate liberal arts education. We applaud your courage and conviction to pursue your degrees in an environment that can be hostile to the humanities. But you have pursued your degrees and inspired us with your work. In parting, let us urge you to go forward and use your remarkable talents and fine education, both for your own advancement and for the good of others. Humanity and the environment have never needed your creativity, imagination, and expertise in problem solving more than it does today. You can contribute to changing the future by remaining curious, by remaining courageous, and by remaining humble and kind. In these ways, you will change the world.
So, the future is in your hands. We are delighted to have been a part of your life. Thank you for your achievements. Please keep in touch and tell us where you are and what you are doing. Hearty congratulations to all of our graduates. Yay!